he has a lot to teach us. Let's listen up, and once again, clap.
Awesome. I can't get over these lights. They're brighter than any event I've ever been at. They don't affect you, though, do they?
I hope that my lenses will change and it will go dark, and I'll be like Bono.
Do you often imagine yourself as Bono?
I do, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're roughly twice his height, though.
That's probably true.
Hey, what's going on? I saw you checking your phone. What's been announced?
I was watching the Apple announcement. It's awesome to see them, delivering so much.
So what actually was announced? I actually don't know.
I saw new phones. I saw a new payment service that looked great.
Okay.
And I saw a new watch. And then we came out here.
Did they release the special API for nude celebrity photos as well?
It's had a special Kate Upton button on the side of the watch built in.
All right.
2 clicks for Jennifer Lawrence.
You probably hang out with those people, don't you? They're like your friends, sort of?
I don't. Should I?
So what's going on at...
I only hang out with you, Michael, and I don't want your nude photos.
It's not
We
the first,
could do that
it's not the first
recreation,
time I heard
actually,
that.
with the baseball player. Would be very good, actually, Okay.
So normally I don't even get one question in before you start talking about dropping acid with Steve Jobs or, what have you. Just, you want to take over? Or can I ask some of the things?
I'm letting you go.
Okay, so yesterday you announced a $100 million venture fund. As far as I can tell, that's a nonsense announcement because you've been investing tens of millions of dollars in startups for years. Is this just a branding exercise, or is there a different shift in strategy, or what?
Well, we've had a great experience with our investments. They've really had a phenomenal return because
How much have you invested so far?
I think the company has invested well more than $100 million in startups,
Okay.
a lot of them in this room. We do seed investments. We do A, B, C, D. We invest in this thing called the cloud. We do a lot of investments in mobile and social, connected devices. And we have a great group led by a fantastic team that I've actually worked with for about 20 years. And their returns are pretty incredible. It's been awesome.
So this is just naming that. It's not a difference in strategy?
That's exactly right.
Okay, and you're committing $100 million to some number of years.
That's right.
Okay. What kinds of companies should be thinking about you as an investor?
Number one, we can do a lot for companies that are built on our platforms. So if you're built on Force.com, Heroku, Exact Target Fuel, platforms that we're making and building and expanding our ecosystems.
You're extra interested.
We're really interested in that because we'll bring you with us to our customers. We'll bring you to our shows. We have Dreamforce coming up on October 13th. We'll have 150,000 people this year at Dreamforce. We'll have 5 million more online watching it.
Do you understand
bring those
how
partners
thoroughly you
to the
fuck
shows?
I know you hate being cut off, but do you understand how thoroughly you fucked the city up when that event happened?
I know. I apologize in advance.
Yeah.
To everyone
Sorry, not sorry.
who is not going to be able to get around, I apologize. But it is good for the economy.
So what's Salesforce Wear? Is this wearables into the workplace?
Yeah.
What's this?
Well, I just got back from living in Europe for a month. Okay. And
did you stay at Airbnb, or what do you do?
Mostly I stay in Airbnbs when I travel.
Yeah.
And when I was in Europe, I did 2 big programs, one in Paris and one in Munich.
Yeah.
They're about 5,000 person events that were talking about kind of the future of technology and a lot of the themes that are covered at shows like this, but they're more for end user customers. And when we get to the part of the show where we start to do demonstrations of enterprise technology on wearables, and we have lots of different wearables that we're integrated with, and people start to see their enterprise data on wearables, you really hear a gasp in the room. And I think that wearables are it was impactful for me. I think up to this point, wearables have been very much a novelty.
Yeah.
But I think we're going to see wearables as a deeply integrated and huge part of the enterprise story.
Okay.
And I think every enterprise will have that, and it's going to be everything from things like Google Glasses, where service technicians are connected in real time to service centers, to where just corporate executives are getting really important notifications on their wearable devices. And we're at the beginning of, I think, one of the biggest shifts in technology ever. We're going to start to wear it on our bodies.
Salesforce Wear is making sure you're integrated into all these wearables.
Yes.
Full stop. Okay.
And that we're really thinking about it. And to your other point, to make sure we're funding the companies. You saw that we just funded a number of companies as part of our announcement were our wearables companies.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, we're really excited about that.
What were those companies?
One of them was IM Plus, which is Will I Am's new venture.
Yeah.
And it's going to be incredible. I think he's going to be showing his device for the first time at Dreamforce, which will be amazing.
Okay, great. So revenue's doing well. You announced.
Yeah, we had a 38% growth, 38% growth quarter.
How do you grow that much? That's versus the previous year, right? It's quarter-on-quarter growth.
It's year over year, and
How do you grow that
there's never
much?
been a software company that's grown that fast at our size. This year we'll do, more than $5 billion in revenue, and no one has ever grown enterprise
How are you
software
growing
that fast.
Is it the market is still untapped, or is it all the new products, or is it international? Where is this coming from?
Well, our international business has been pretty amazing. You probably haven't had an opportunity to look at our numbers, but where I just was living, Europe has been an incredible growth story for us.
Okay.
But we're aligned with a lot of very important trends, and those trends is where technology is going, and so our customers continue to
What are those trends?
buy. Cloud computing, social computing, mobile computing, connected devices, wearables. Everything getting on the internet. These are really these are the big things going on.
When will growth slow down?
I don't know.
I mean, you can't grow 40% every quarter.
I agree with you that
Forever.
these numbers are incredible, and I don't give forward-looking guidance except for our fiscal year. But I just had to raise guidance because growth has been so strong.
And you have
But you have to understand my goal, which is
all the money.
Well, I have a different goal,
Everything.
which I have. There's three things when we start Salesforce. There's three things we want to do. One is a new technology model, which we call cloud computing now, multi-tenant.
Yeah.
Two, a new business model, subscription, pay as we go.
Yeah.
And three, a new philanthropic model, 1-1-1, because we put 1% of our equity, 1% of our profit, and 1% of our time into a 501c3 public charity. Every interview that we've ever discussed, we've talked about that. In fact, if you go out onto the show floor, you'll see us doing a lot there. We're going to have a huge announcement with the San Francisco Unified School District on Friday, doing another major investment in our public schools here in San Francisco.
What's that exactly?
Well, we're really, we're committed to a number of things, but I don't think there's anything more important than our children's health and education. And so that's a huge part of our philanthropy,
Yeah.
and especially here in San Francisco, where we're building a new children's hospital, and the company has a very significant investment program, 5-year program underway, with San Francisco Unified to put technology into all the classrooms, to invest in the classrooms, but also to get our employees. We're the largest tech employer in San Francisco. We have more than 5,000 people within a mile of this building. And also, we want to put money into the schools and invest and extend and expand their budgets. And these are the things that are really important to me. Yes, we can have a great company. Yes, we can have a super high growth rate, great quarter, huge year, $5 billion year. But at the start of this company, we also wanted to have a philanthropic model so that the more successful we were, the more we could do for others. The greatest joy in life that you're going to get is through giving. And so when we're in those schools, it's an awesome thing for us. And what we've been focused on this year is the middle schools in San Francisco.
Yeah.
And we've now put technology into every middle school, trained every teacher. If you go into any San Francisco middle school, you're going to see a lot of tablets and Wi-Fi and you see blended learning in action, which is not just the textbooks, but also using the 1999 when we opened our doors.
When it wasn't cool.
We were in Rincon Center, and today we have all of Rincon Center, and the announcement on Friday will be we've taken over Rincon Center, completely remodeled it, and turned it into a huge development center. We're also building 3 new towers on Fremont Street. We also have our One Market headquarters, and that's, this is an important part of our culture. We love San Francisco. We always have right from the beginning of the company.
How much money have you given to the Children's Hospital at this point?
I have, within a year or so, it'll be about $250 million so far.
Wow. Now, did you have to pay extra to get your name up on the building? Because I see
Yes,
that.
I did.
It's amazing. It's like,
Yes, I did.
it's not the Children's Hospital, it's Marc Benioff's Children's Hospital.
I didn't really want to do that, but they made a good case, and it's actually worked out that we would inspire maybe others, or we'd have people be able to talk about it.
Yeah.
And when we turned the lights on the new hospital on Friday, which was awesome. It's very close to here, actually, and you can go check it out.
We've all seen it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the new hospital, there's 3 hospitals in the hospital.
Right.
And it's the Benioff Children's Hospital. It's also the Barbara Baker Cancer Hospital, and it's the Betty Irene Moore Women's Hospital, Gordon Moore's wife.
All right.
So it's not just our hospital. There's lots of other families and philanthropists and lots of people involved. And in fact, even Bill Gates got involved a few months ago with our Children's Hospital, and we're building a new preterm birth, global preterm birth center with the Gates Foundation. So we have lots of folks helping out.
I have something here.
And everybody here is invited to help us build these new hospitals and transform San Francisco.
You're having a concert, aren't you? Something I saw about a concert next month with.
We are.
Bruno
Every
Mars?
year we raise $5, $6, $7 million more for the Children's Hospital, because during Dreamforce, we have a huge concert. That will be on Tuesday, October 14th. We'll have Bruno Mars. We'll shut down Civic Center, so like where City Hall is. All those venues, including like Bill Graham Hall, will turn into a huge concert venue, and we will raise about probably 6, 7, 8 million. We just had someone give us $1 million sponsorship, an amazing tech entrepreneur. So I think that's gonna, I can't tell you.
Why?
We're gonna because he asked me not to say, but it's very exciting. One of the things that's cool, okay, is that
whenever you touch me, I know I get nervous. I feel like something's
you should
coming.
be nervous.
Yeah.
Whenever we
Very uncomfortable right now.
I know. It's good for you. It's love. It's love, Michael. Accept it.
It feels like a threat, but
so, whenever we talk about our company, we like to talk about 111.
Yep.
You know that.
Oh, yeah.
You've probably interviewed me dozens of times. And we also have had lots of companies come into 111, like Google, or Jeremy Stoppelman was just on stage, Yelp. When Jeremy was private, he adopted 111. Now that he's public
it's
with a
super cheap to do it. When
and now he has a $6 or $7 billion market cap. He's got a $60 or $70 million foundation.
Yeah.
And so we encourage that. For a lot of companies, they're not sure if they want to do 111. It's like a religion to them. So we started SF Gives. And that opened the door to have dozens more companies come in. All they had to do was agree to give $500,000 over 5 years. So companies like Microsoft and Apple and others all came into SF Gives, and a lot of startups as well. And we raised another $10 or $20 million partnering with Daniel Lurie at Tipping Point. And I just think that as we, San Francisco and our industry, this is an amazing time. There's two things are happening. One is we have all these incredible people here, and more people coming from all around the world who want to be part of this, It's like the gold rush, and the miners are coming in. And 2, we have an amazing city. San Francisco is just a phenomenal place. But if we can put these 2 things together, we can make San Francisco greater during this amazing time. And that's my goal, is that when all this is over and this boom is done and we're kind of in the plateau period, which inevitably happens, we can look back and say, we made good use of that time. We made good use of our time here. And we didn't just come in and make a buck, but we also were able to give back. And, San Francisco becomes a better place, and the schools improve, the hospitals improve, the shelters improve, everything that's important, and kind of the safety net improves. And I just want to continue to open that door. This is not a new thing for us. This was part of our original mission, but now we never thought that San Francisco would be the heart and soul of the tech community. I mean, it used to be down in Sunnyvale and Cupertino. Now it's here, and that's exciting.
Do you ever see politics in your future? I mean, you've already going to heaven.
I'm not good
right?
in a politician. I am not very good at any of that. And
really?
No, I'm really not.
What skills do you think you don't have that would make you a good politician? Lying, cheating, stealing?
Being political and kind of, I like to say what I feel, and I don't think that probably makes you a very good politician.
Okay. All right, so here's something I want to ask you about. You're very close to the Democratic Party.
Not really.
You give them a lot of money.
I give everybody a lot of money.
You give them a lot more than you give the Republicans.
Not really. I don't think so. I give them all. I'm not a Democrat, and I am not a Republican. I am an American, and my job is just to kind of be here. And I do give these people, like if I like some person, I'll give them money.
Yeah.
But I don't really have an especially good relationship with anybody. And, I'll support them, And I've supported the president, I've supported the governor, and I've also supported the people who were not the president and not the governor who didn't win.
So there's been some press about, and I understand this is cherry picking, and maybe even the facts aren't right, so correct me in anything that's wrong. But you guys being Salesforce bought a bunch of land down here in Mission Bay.
We don't own it anymore.
You sold it. Undisclosed how much it was purchased for. The Warriors bought it all, or parts of it?
No. 3 different groups bought it.
Well, during the time you owned it, the light
In
rail
fact,
came
Uber
in.
is moving into one of the parcels.
Light rail came in, making this land incredibly valuable, and that was spearheaded by Pelosi, and she got $1 billion in federal
The light
funds.
rail was already in when we bought the land.
It was already in? Where'd the $1 billion come from, the federal earmarking? The question I'm going to ask, and maybe you can, is you give all this money to Pelosi and her husband as a shareholder in Salesforce, you buy this land, the light rail comes in, you sell it at a massive profit. That just looks bad on the optics.
I read that
wrong?
story too,
Yeah.
And some of these politicians just attract people who are attacking them. But the reality is, number one, the light rail was already in when we bought the land because Mission Bay, it was right across from UCSF Mission Bay. And if you go down there, the Mission Bay light rail is there. It was there when we bought the land.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what I do ask the politicians for. When I'm in meetings with politicians, there's basically 4 things that I ask for consistently, and it's not that. Number one, I ask, and to the point where they don't want to hear about it anymore, is we need H-1Bs in our industry.
Yeah.
We need visas to hire more engineers.
Yeah.
When we graduate a kid from college at one of these universities who's from another country, like Stanford or Berkeley or even UCSF, they have to get back on a plane and come home.
Yeah.
We need to just staple the visa right to their degree.
Yeah.
That's number one. We need really great immigration reform for our industry.
Yeah.
The second thing that we need reform on is patent reform. We have a lot of companies that come along, great companies in this room, innovative companies, and all of a sudden the patent trolls will come in, and patent trolls have really become a huge part of our problem in the industry. And we had something phenomenal, which was a bipartisan effort led by Eric Cantor, going through Congress. It's also supported by Nancy Pelosi, called the Innovation Act. Got through Congress, went into the Senate, and Harry Reid killed it. And it was a huge, huge, huge mistake for our industry, because that would have created an opportunity to transform the patent system. The president supported it, everybody supported it, and then the Senate killed it. We need patent reform in our industry, and that's number 2. Number 3 is we need repatriation. Big companies in our industry, not companies like Salesforce, but bigger companies, have a lot of cash parked overseas, mostly because they've tried to avoid paying taxes, but it's not really the point. The point is they've got the cash, But for them to grow, to buy companies, to make change happen, they need the cash domestically. And they need repatriation, which is the ability to move the cash back to the United States. And there needs to be some clear, simple, easy to understand repatriation percentage. Like you can bring it over, but give the Treasury 20% of it, or whatever it is. Something very straightforward. That's number 3.
So just to expand that, you're not simply talking about lowering the corporate tax rate.
No. This is about getting the cash back into our country.
Leave the corporate tax rate the way it is, or it's a separate issue.
Yeah, that's
and
a separate
find
issue.
a way for Apple and others to bring massive amounts of capital.
That's right. Give them a clear, basically say, okay, if you just pay 15 or 20%, you've got 10 billion, give us 2 billion, you keep 8 billion. Something 15 to 20%, something like that, I think would really attract a lot of cash.
The optics on that are tough because people would characterize it as a tax break for the rich corporations. So
it's not a tax break for the rich corporations.
But you can see that people would characterize it that way.
I think that it's the thing is I'm not a fan of these. I understand why these companies do it. It's in their shareholders' interest to basically set up these kind of firewalls overseas where they're not paying income tax. And they end up with a lot of cash.
Yeah.
The reality is we have to get that cash back.
Yeah.
And the corporate tax system also needs to transform. Those two things need to happen, but the cash needs to come back. It'll be healthier for our industry if it does.
What's the fourth thing?
And the fourth thing is we need greater financial security for our country. We need a balanced budget. And we need to think things like Simpson-Bowles need to pass so that we can have confidence that things like entitlements are dealt with going forward. And those are the 4 things that when I meet with one of these people that I'm giving money to, those are the 4 things that I'm continually advocating. And those are the things that are really important to me because I think they're really important for the industry.
Okay. What do you think about Apple right now? What do you think about Tim Cook as the CEO? And what do you think about where Apple's going? And I know you were still digesting the news today, but...
I think that Apple's a super important company in our industry, and it's critical for them to succeed. I think Tim has done a great job. I think it's a hard situation. I think the best thing he did this morning is that he thanked Steve Jobs right at the beginning and talked about why the Flint Center is so important to Apple, their history, what has happened there, connected what has happened today with their past. I think Apple can never forget that they were founded and led by the greatest prophet of our industry. And at the same time, they also have to remember who they are themselves so they can create their future. And that's Tim's job. It's a hard job. He's doing a great job. And I think it's going to be a great company going forward.
Is Apple a buy, sell, or hold right now?
I think it's a buy.
Really?
I told my mom to buy Apple stock. So it's a buy. I'm not an investor, so I'm not a good person to ask.
Why wouldn't you just buy your mom, like, another one of the Hawaiian Islands or something? Why is she day trading?
She's doing all right, Michael.
Is it a hobby? If it's a hobby, I get it. But otherwise,
she's doing okay.
You got to take care of her.
Yeah, thank you. You should feel very comfortable that she's okay.
I can always tell when I piss you off. Something happens to your eyes, and it just happens. So I'm not going to talk about your mom anymore in this conversation.
Great. We can go back to the nude photos if that would help.
Did you look at them?
I would never look at a nude photo.
Yeah. So just to clear it up, though, you did drop acid with Steve Jobs. I mean, you were very vague on that last year, but it seemed pretty clear that you did, right? It's not like anyone's going to bust you. So
I didn't, but I did eat vegan food with him once.
All right. What else do you want to talk about? What else do you care about? What's this 111 thing? I don't understand. Where do company, actually, is there a website for that? Where should startups go when they're really young?
You can go to sharethemodel.org, and you can learn about it that way. I think that when you're a startup and we have all these great entrepreneurs in the room, you have to think about your culture, but you have to think about what is your legacy. And I think for a lot of startups and a lot of entrepreneurs that I meet, they'll say to me something that I don't agree with. which is, oh, the product is my legacy, or the product is my contribution to society, or
they
it's
want
all
to make
about the
money
product.
and give back, right? There's that notion of I want to
We
make.
have a lot. That's the history of our industry.
Yeah.
The history of our industry is an industry that made a lot of money and did not give back.
Yeah.
And we want to change that. We want to open the door to get people to be more philanthropic. I
Yeah.
saw Laura, Andreessen, Ariaga Andreessen in the backstage. She's written some great books on that as well. This is a great opportunity for us. And if you're an entrepreneur, you need to think about, number one, what is your culture? You have an innovation culture? Okay, I get that. Forbes just said we're the most innovative company in the world for the 4th year in a row. I'm all about innovation. I love innovation. You can say we're the best place to work. Salesforce is number 7 this year on best place to work. You can say you're an admired software company. Fortune is number 1, and Salesforce is number 1 on the Fortune.
Remember, we're talking about the giving back thing, not how
I know,
awesome.
but I'm going to get to it.
Okay.
But the only thing that I really care about is it's great to have all of those things.
Yeah.
We're really ranked on the ethics list, and we're ranked on most ethical companies, and that we give back at scale, that it's built into our culture. So far, Salesforce has given away itself more than $60 million in grants. It runs more than 20,000 nonprofits and NGOs for free. And it also has given back 500,000 hours of community service through its employees. Those are the things that I really care about. And at the end of the day, it's technology that is, impermanent. We know that every technology and every computer that's in this room right now will be obsolete in 10 years. No one is going to have the same computer and phone that they have now in 10 years. What really matters is giving back to others and service to others and the culture of your company. That will still be here 10 years from now. That's why you need to think about why are you here and what are you doing every day.
Yeah.
And if you want to enjoy your life and you want to be happy in every moment, which I think a lot of people do, then try to connect in giving into your business. Because people like you and me, we love to work. We love doing email, and we love technology, and we love work. We love our industry. We love all these things.
I don't love doing email, but I get what you mean, yeah.
But if you can connect that so that when you're doing that email and you're doing that work, that you're kind of integrated in a way that it's automatically giving back to others, then it's going to be pretty cool, because you'll be like, whoa, yeah, I've done it. Then you'll look back 10 years from now, and you'll say, I didn't just send 1 million emails, but look at what I've been able to create. And everyone here can benefit from that simple idea of integration. That is, we can be more integrated. We can be integrated. We don't have to be just those two selves. When I was at Oracle, which was, let's go back, way back machine, pull the lever. When I was at Oracle, I came to Oracle, I was 21 years old, and when I was 25, I was the youngest VP. And I was very successful, and
handsome.
And handsome, and young, handsome, and I had a good salary, the whole thing. But I did not really have a high level of fulfillment, especially in my 20s. I didn't really have what I was looking for. I had what I thought I wanted.
Well,
I won't touch you again, but I had my $1 million a year salary. Yes, I had my Ferrari. I had a great social life in my condo in San Francisco. But there was something more that I knew that I could have that I did not have.
Yeah.
And that's the breakthrough that I had. I had a breakthrough that it was on a trip that I took in 1996 to India. And when I went there...
Here we go.
Here we go.
Here we go.
And when I went to India, I went on this amazing trip through the
sure
whole
you
country. And I ended up in a little kind of grass shack, with a guru in an area of India called Trivandrum, which is on the backwaters of the Arabian Sea, in an area called, Kerala.
Yeah.
And it's an amazing place. And I was with this saint. I was with do you know Arjun Gupta? He has a company called Telesoft Partners. Well, at the time he didn't, but he was starting it. And he had his business plan with him, and we were talking to the guru, and he was kind of pitching the guru on to invest in his fund or something. It was amazing, and telling her all about Telesoft Partners. But at the end, we were sitting there, and it was kind of very surreal. The incense is wafting by, and the candles are flickering. And she says, you know what, Arjun? You know what, Arjun? This is amazing, and you're right. The future is mobile, and the future is social, and the future is cloud, and the future is all these things getting connected. But don't forget to do something for other people.
Yeah.
And that, I remember that. She was talking to him, but I took it away. And then when I went back and a couple years later started Salesforce, I said, when we do start this company, we have to make sure that that is integrated in. And I'm glad I did it. I think it's the best decision I ever made at Salesforce. It wasn't our multi-tenant architecture.
Yeah.
It wasn't any of those things. It wasn't the technology decisions. It wasn't anyone that I hired, and I hired a lot of great people. The best decision I ever made was making sure that my company was committed to giving back as it succeeded.
You're a lovely human being.
Thank you, Michael.
Thanks.
You are as well.
Thanks very much.
Okay.